Meal prep lovers, this video is for you. We are in the kitchen today to talk about two of the most popular meal prep solutions to make your prepping even easier. At Mod Assistance, meal planning, grocery shopping, and meal prep is the #1 request that we get for clients on our personal assistant services end. So we are always looking for ways to make that meal prep more efficient and easier for our assistants. So we found two solutions online that are promoted to do just that, making meal prep easier. Today we'll be comparing the Prepdeck Generation 2 to the Tidyboard, and we're gonna see which one works best for us. So let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. The Prepdeck Mini is the second generation of this meal prep tool, now featuring a compact, space-saving design that easily fits into most refrigerators. The system comes in 5 colors, so you can stick with a color palette that works for your kitchen or your preference. One of our favorite parts is the magnetically detached cutting board. As you can see, there are magnets on the bottom that are strong enough to hold it in place, while still being able to easily remove for cleaning purposes. And when you're done, you could fold it up into a nice little package. So satisfying. The system comes with 8 stackable containers in 4 different sizes with color-matched lids. The containers all have measurement markings on them, so you can easily track your ingredients in ounces, cups, or milliliters. Pros for the Prepdeck Mini. The cutting board. As we mentioned, our favorite part of the entire system is the cutting board. Honestly, this came as a bit of a surprise. We were not expecting to be so impressed with this magnetic cutting board. One of our pet peeves when prepping food is a cutting board that slides across the counter as you are chopping. This happens with even the most expensive high-end wooden cutting boards. Not only could that be dangerous, but it's downright annoying. This cutting board does not move. We were happily surprised at how secure we felt while chopping. It also cleaned up so easily. You are able to wipe down the cutting board between each prep step and nothing stuck to it. Dishwasher safe. This is an obvious pro. Let's just be honest, no one wants to hand wash anything anymore. If we see a kitchen tool that is not dishwasher safe, that is an immediate knock against it. The compact design of the containers. While testing the Prepdeck Mini, we did not find ourselves putting the entire component into the refrigerator. This is a big selling point for the product when looking at their marketing, and we get that. But in our times testing this, we instead separated out each ingredient into the different storage containers to then store in the refrigerator. One reason why we preferred this was to be able to see what was inside of each container. The compact design of the individual containers made it very easy to store, and it did not take up a lot of room in the fridge. The scraps container. The scraps container within the Prepdeck Mini system is very smart. With a traditional cutting board, you are constantly gathering up the scraps from what you're chopping and either moving them into a separate container or making trips back and forth to the trash. This genius little design saves you that extra effort. I will say it was a bit awkward at first moving the straps into the container as it is a narrow opening, but then again, that is the point of a compact system, so we get it. It just takes a little getting used to. Space for your phone or tablet. This is a really smart design feature in today's day and age, when most people are reading from a device to follow a recipe. We saw no issues whatsoever with this piece. It held both a phone and a tablet with no problem and worked well for following along with our recipes. Cons of the Prepdeck Mini. The containers. In the largest container, there is a separation piece in the middle to be able to store 2 different items. This separation piece does not fit well in the container and constantly moves around on its own. We did find this a bit frustrating and would be considered a con, but certainly not a reason to write off the system altogether. While I appreciate the strong suction on the lids of the containers, they are a bit of a hassle to remove. You really need to dig your fingers into the sides and shimmy the lids off. The company markets these lids as an updated Super Seal no spill lid. There is definitely a super seal there, but if it keeps things from spilling, that might be a pro versus a con for some people. Another slight issue we found with the containers were that the smallest containers do not have lids. The smallest containers do fit within the larger containers, and this is ideal for the compact storage of the entire system, but not necessarily ideal when you are splitting up the containers, as we mentioned earlier. If we had small ingredients to store, such as garlic or onions, as we did in this demo, we would have to store that smaller container within the larger container in order to be able to use a lid. Moving on to the Tidyboard. This all-in-one system is marketed as a way to cut your prep and cleanup time in half, keeping you organized and your kitchen clean. One thing to note that you won't see in this video, the Tidyboard system is designed to sit next to and on top of your sink, so you can easily rinse produce in the straining container, as well as easily move food scraps to the garbage disposal. The Tidyboard system comes with a 4-pound bamboo wood cutting board that the company claims will not dull knives, harbor bacteria, or absorb unwanted flavors or odors. The system also comes with BPA-free food-grade silicone containers to be used for food prep and storage. The containers are microwave, dishwasher, and freezer safe. With the system, you receive a large strainer, a large container with a lid, a small strainer, and 2 small containers with lids. Pros for the Tidyboard. A sturdy cutting board. We have used our fair share of cutting boards over the years, and we were truly impressed with the Tidyboard. It is very stable. There is absolutely no movement when chopping, thanks to the silicone rounds on all 4 sides of the board. Something else the company promotes is that the board is engineered to stay balanced. From the website, the Tidyboard was mindfully influenced by math and physics. Our board is engineered as a lever to stay steady even with a heavy load in the containers. It can hold up to 9 pounds of food in its container while hanging off your counter. We agree that the board stays balanced even with a large load of food, and we truly appreciate how secure the board feels while prepping. Easy to store. If you have a small kitchen with very little room to store items, the Tidyboard is ideal. The containers collapse and stack within each other, taking up very little room in the end when all stored together. The cutting board itself is large enough to provide adequate prep space, but also thin enough and not too big to store in most kitchens. Dishwasher safe. As mentioned before, dishwasher safe is absolutely necessary in our mind to have a successful product these days. The Tidyboard itself is not dishwasher safe, but can easily be cared for just like any other wood or bamboo cutting board. The prep containers are dishwasher safe and also very easy to wipe clean. Cons for the Tidyboard. Collapsing containers. The containers collapse on themselves, making them easy to store without taking up a ton of room in your Tupperware drawer. While we appreciate that, the containers tend to collapse on themselves very easily. We found this to be especially true when we were trying to snap the lids in place. Now that we think about it, this might be a container issue or it might be a lid issue. Either way, we did find this a bit frustrating. So there you have it. We prefer the Prepdeck Generation 2 for our meal prepping. It was easy to use, easy to clean up, and we love the compact design, so it's not taking up a lot of room in our clients' homes when we are prepping their meals. But please leave us your opinions down in the comments, and of course, let us know if there are any other solutions that you love to use in your home. See you next time.